Let's get into the big news that dropped. Was it yesterday? I don't know. Bradley Beal
Fuck that.
to the Washington Wizards. Let's recap the trade.
Hassan.
Yes. Chris Paul to the Wizards. They also get Landry Shamet, multiple second-round picks and pick swaps. Want to give thoughts? You can do it since Bradley Beal's a third.
Yeah.
That's a good player. He's top
That's his
five.
third
He's
meet.
top five.
He's got to be Steph, Harden, Bradley Beal.
That's Hassan's third favorite meet.
KD's over Brad. So you got
So go ahead, give your thoughts on that.
So that's your fourth favorite meet.
to claim it there.
Fifth favorite meet? All right, yeah.
I got it. We'll come.
Hey.
We're a basketball podcast.
He says ghetto gaggers.
He's about to have the Wyatt Mills some bets the next episode.
So we got ghetto gaggers.
All right, let's get into the analysis. Real simple, Cook. So, shoot, I feel like Brad's career is like the perfect NBA career to have, honestly, because let him cook. Besides winning.
Okay.
But as a player,
tweet about
like you build up loyalty with the fan base. I don't know why Washington's like so loyal, but they paid John Wall the Super Max too. So I guess Washington
players. Let me just explain something to you. They got new GMs this offseason, so everything that they paid in all the time was an old GM group. So they have new GMs offseason. That's why they traded him, because they didn't like what the old GMs did. But continue what you were saying.
But I mean, I think they wanted to start anew either way.
So I'm saying, because the old GMs gave off these contracts that they didn't want to, like, oh shit, we wouldn't have.
And then he has like seniority within the organization. He knows everybody, everything gets transferred to him too. So you want to get that out of the way. So you have your management running everything.
Exactly.
But yeah, so he got paid $250. Obviously, he didn't deserve if that trade happened,
best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he's not the third best.
yeah. So see, if that trade happened for Steph or Dame, that's a veto automatically, right? You're not trading those type of players for second round picks, but you got to pay the same amount. You know, level of finesse is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So that ties back to the contract that he has and like the leverage that he has to. And he has a no trade clause too.
Yeah, the insane no trade clause. It's not even just a regular one.
That's why I don't think he went to the Heat, or he got to choose his destination, and they had to choose whatever trade that was like good for him. So you know how they wanted to trade Ayton or they wanted to get Ayton from the Wizards, and he's like said no, like you have to trade Chris Paul, and they had to like consult to what he wanted.
He's the only player in the NBA with a no trade clause.
Yeah,
He's the only player. I don't know why.
That's the only player.
He does not like that. He's him. Apparently,
That
that
Wizards GM was in there doing crap. Hard Bradley. You had won that no trade.
Yeah, they really believed he was a franchise player to lead him to a chip, which is crazy. But
I don't think they thought that. I think they just
why pay him $250?
They just say, here's your bag, brother.
Maybe
the two of
yeah. Like I said before, like ticket sales and all of that too, like that helps for the Wizards, him being their star player. But then so him being the player that he is and getting the money that he is, and the no trade clause puts him in like a perfect situation to go to literally any team that he wanted to go to.
Yeah.
So like he'll say no, like they want to start anew and they can't without his permission, so he'll go anywhere that he wants to. And so they have to trade the second round picks and they have to trade the players. And the trade is a good trade for them, because at the end of the day, it's either Chris Paul or Bradley Beal. Like you want Bradley Beal on your roster rather than Chris Paul, even though the money is significant.
What about Landry?
Because that's only 4 people on their roster. So that's good for Phoenix, and I think it's a dub for them. But they still lack defensively. They're not going to be as great unless they get defensive players. They have Vogel as their coach, but they're top 3. They should be a top 3 team contender-wise. So as of right now, I gotta see what they pick up. Like they still have the vet min people that still might want to ring chase,
and then they don't even have the vet min. Well, they have the MLE. Well, yeah, vet min.
And then they have the mid contract player too. That you can
there's two mid-level exceptions. There's a taxpayer mid-level. There's a regular mid-level. They don't have the taxpayer because of the fucking contract.
That's like four max, 3 max and 1 super.
It's gonna have to be all like
so crazy.
Ring chasing, young stuff like that.
They don't even have one mid player. They can't get like a Dante DiVincenzo, Bruce Brown type of player. I'm
not too sure on that, but they definitely have. If they have one, they have one, and they don't have the full amount. So there's like a certain amount of fees. I think it's 12 million. They definitely don't have that full 12 million. If anything, they don't have it at all. I'm not too sure. I can't comment.
I like Sheba's aggressiveness. Like I understand, like you got rid of Monty Williams. Maybe that was the wrong move now after this trade, but hindsight is 2020. And he's gotten KD in his tenure. He got pushed by the best player in the world.
Yeah, he's been there for like a couple months. Got 2 fucking max contracts.
But he's aggressive. But I want to hear your take on it, because you don't think having three super team is gonna work out.
Yeah,
I disagree.
I think this is a lose-lose trade. I think it's a rare situation where it's a lose-lose because,
Yeah, that's crazy.
well, like if we're talking about the value that the Suns got, the shit you gave up was nothing. So in terms of actually the value in the trade, you won that significantly. Obviously, Bradley Beal is a great player. He could play off ball. He could play on ball. He could.
No, that's a weakness.
Yeah, exactly. He's a 3-level scorer. He's a smart basketball player. I think he has good leadership skills. But you pretty much, like we talked about, hamper yourself from getting any decent players around them. Now they could still trade Ayton and like get a set of role players, but it's going to be minimal players like looking to ring chase. You can't sign anybody looking to get any type of money. It's going to have to be minimum guys, and you kind of constrict your roster. And I don't like it for the Suns because Bradley Beal gives you something that you already had. You had Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, who are scorers, some of the two best scorers in the league. That's not what your problem was. In that Denver series, you had trouble containing Jokic and then stopping the other guys when you were doubling Jokic. So what did you need? You needed more defenders, and they basically said, no, we're going to get another scorer, which is going to be great. Their offense is going to be elite. They're going to be one of the fucking best offensive teams in the league. Bradley Beal and Devin Booker could all play off the ball, and KD can play off the ball. So that's going to be crazy. The offensive
At point guard too.
yeah, offensive perimeter scoring is going to be crazy. Mid-range, on point. They could play selflessly. They all can average like 7 assists if they wanted to. So that's not going to be an issue. But defensively, who is going to be on the team? That's going to be the lockdown defender. Like, who's going to chase Steph around screen? Exactly.
Yeah.
Even like, who's going to chase Steph around screen?
Oh,
Like, no,
yeah.
you're not guard. You know what I mean? Who's going to chase Steph around screen? Who's going to leave the watches one-on-one? It's like, yeah, it's like you don't have Josh Okogie's rights either. So he's going to be.
They plan on
No, you do have Torrey Craig's. Yeah, they have Torrey Craig's and Jock Landos. That's the only two players.
So I mean, campaign too for the 2-way contracts. He's on.
Campaign's the only person who's like currently a contract.
You know, he's
Can't
on the
go
roster.
nowhere. Yeah, he
You know what I'm
can't.
saying?
And then those 4 players.
Craig and Landale are players, but they got their rights, so they could come back. Josh Okogie, they have nothing. I think they have Terrence Ross too.
No, I think Devin says.
Nah, everyone else is free agents. Except campaign.
Well, so that's good and bad because you can construct a roster amongst those.
Not really, because you don't have cap flexibility. You have to sign minimum.
Yeah, but you
sign
get
the
guys. Yeah, you get main guys that can play what those 4 players.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think, and maybe they'll prove me wrong. This is where it's going to come in. If they can get good quality players to sign up for these minimum contracts, it's going to be good. But I'm just skeptical that that's going to happen because of a lot of teams have cap space this offseason. Free agency is not that great. Like, you're not going to get good quality role players that are willing to take minimum contracts.
It depends, like players that got hurt or players that were former shells of themselves.
Like, what type of players do you think are going to join this team?
Otto Porter type of level.
It's like, can you rely on this fool didn't even have to play basketball in a year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got those type of players, Jay Crowder. You get those type of players that want to have a bounce back season to get a higher contract next year. Like Otto Porter, when he joined the Warriors, wasn't as good the year before. Then you got a contract.
They got to gamble with their free agency, basically.
Not a gamble. I mean,
It is a gamble.
I mean, yeah, it's always a
I
gamble.
think
It's always a gamble.
right. I think if they're not because if they're not gambles, they wouldn't be signing the vets.
it's a strategic
Yeah,
gamble.
like you're not getting Lonnie Walker on vet minimum.
Yeah.
The only thing they can hope to like get people to sign is like the hope of winning a ring on the team.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that's all you have to like be tell like
Or guys who had bad seasons, like looking to try to get
bounce back
back.
seasons.
But they have to have terrible seasons in order to get to that point.
Other than that, I just feel like what you said earlier too. Like the Suns have an offensive overload. Like they need to diversify. I think they need to diversify.
I think it's overload.
Dude, they have KD and Booker already.
That's
That
different.
scoring is like good enough. And then you get Bradley Beal as like a scorer.
But when it came,
But no, and you know what?
when it comes to being like they're all since they're all 3-level scorers, you know, like it's not as but it's redundant, but it's not as like getting in each other's way because they can each score in different ways. It's not like
They'll be fine. That's
yeah. Offensively, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that wasn't limited. That was amazing to watch.
But that team had a solid cast. That team had a solid supporting.
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors of KD, he's trying to bring, which is fine.
That's the only comparison.
But their role players, who'd they have on the bench?
Sean Livingston.
Shaw Livingston was on the bench. Never missed a
They
was.
100% from Midi.
The only reason they could get those type of players is because Steph had like the lowest max contract ever because of his ankles, and that's why they could get KD and keep.
Also, times are different. Like the rules have changed around contracts with the tax player mid level.
Yeah.
Before back then, the difference was negligible. It was like $2 million for a vet minimum and $5 million for the MLE. Now it's like $2 million for the minimum and $12 million for the MLE. So it's like now that difference
And
is
there's like,
different.
isn't there like
And
a
less willing
there's
to
another one in
nothing.
between, isn't there? something like that, like another contract.
Yeah, there's a taxpayer mid-level and just a normal mid-level. I'm not exactly sure what those numbers are, but those are the two.
We got to see what they get. But I mean, them getting Vogel helps them a lot for their defensive identity. And offensively, they don't need any help.
Still need the personnel.
They need,
it's not enough. You know what? He's not out there defending.
That's why you get the personnel to help the supporting, or you get the personnel supporting cast to help these sport players.
You know what would really help this? You know, in like hindsight, like 2020 help them out. Michal and Hassan. Those guys would be like, demons. Like, count them. They want to trade it. I'm saying, I'm saying, like, you know what the type of players they need? Those type.
If they still had Mikhail on this team, it would literally be like,
no fucking shit.
That's like the main thing.
This contract.
I wanted Cam Johnson to end up on the Lakers somehow, but
That guy's such a good player. He's one of those players that like fits perfect, like not perfectly, but almost very well on every team.
What do you feel about this trade, Omari? Take.
It's kind of like you gotta kind of see how it is. You wonder if they're gonna do PG look or they're gonna get a PG.
I think they should.
I'm sure they will.
You want to play at a faster pace.
What PG are you getting? I think
campaign.
that's even. He's not even a point guard. It's like that. Like you're just getting more scoring.
No, don't even. I think PG book is what they got to do.
Pat Bev, if you want to come from him,
No, PG not be what
that you get out of
that's what I'm saying.
Here for him, I'm saying not him being PG. Like Devin Booker's PG, he was doing it for a while. Chris Paul's in here, so he has like some use.
He has like that line.
The position doesn't matter. That's Devin Booker.
But like, I guess I mean I agree with the sense that like it depends on who they end up actually finding, like realistically. Like if they could realistically get, because it's just like, you know how many 1,000 times we heard the Heat say, oh, a draft team, you know, like these dudes, you know what I mean? Like if they could find some dudes who are
that's a good
undrafted or whatever, feel like they got shit to prove.
Yeah, they got this guy to learn how to work overtime.
Right. But if they could find things like that, then I feel like, sky's the limit.
If I'm them, I think I'd try.
That's damn near impossible, though, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
also a culture thing. It's a Heat culture thing.
Why do you think it's a losing for the Wizards? Yeah, babe.
Because they gave up your franchise player for second round picks and Chris Paul.
$200 million is I mean, you're gonna get something.
I mean, yeah, in sense of cap release, but it's like you got nothing back for him. No, you're not getting anything back for Chris.
Chris Paul's an L. You just got an L. Like
you're getting waived, or the Clippers are trading him for Robert Covington.
The Clippers said they're only gonna get him if they're waived. That's what I heard.
What?
The Clippers will only get him if he got waived.
No, that's impossible. That means he's getting waived because no one else is trading for him.
Yeah, so that's what I heard. Like that's on the way they go after.
Yeah, so you got nothing. You got second round picks.
So they're gonna pick CPS.
And I think the Lakers are trying to get him.
How are the Clippers gonna want to utilize him? Are they gonna get him and Westbrook, or they're not gonna want Austin? They're not gonna want Westbrook.
I don't know, man.
We'll see. Yeah.
Westbrook is really good for them.
I think it's good for the Wizards. You find these like.
But you got nothing for him.
You literally got just let him go.
KP still contracted there.
It's like, okay, it's good in the sense that you don't have to honor that contract, but it's like you're basically saying I'd rather get nothing for you than pay you this money. That's what has to
no second clause, bro. Like
this is like bullshit. I don't know why they gave it to this man. We've been talking about this for like literally since the season started. We would have not given that contract.
Just imagine if Damian Lillard got every turn got cheated for that package.
That's insane.
Jokic got
it would have been veto.
David still would come out the great action.
Dude, the no trade is the crazy one. The no trade.
That's all you got him like.
What do with the no trade?
If you're a player,
he's him.
You would be Bradley Beal.
Was he sucking him off? What was he doing? Getting a no trade? What the
fuck? He diffy. Yeah, I seen a tweet that was just
I remember people saying it was crazy. And even now it's like, yeah, because the no trade, like,
it's even crazy. Yeah,
like, when you're a franchise that wants to win, or you're in the middle, but you have a player that's really good, but you can't really do anything to, you want to get like these playoffs. Yeah.
You can't contend. And that's what the Wizards were at the time.
They're trying to contend, though.
They were trying to, but they're not good.
Like, think about the Boston Celtics right now. They have to pay Jaylen Brown money, or they're gonna fall down in rankings.
Well, he's also a much better player than Bradley,
and he helped 15 player this year. So, but is he worth freaking 300 million? No.
With the way the NBA is run, that contract by the end of it might not be like the biggest contract in the NBA. You know that?
Still a lot of money though.
It is a lot right now.
He's gonna get paid more than Steph. Is he a better player than Steph?
No, but he's a young player. Like it's not the worst. I'm not comparing Jaylen Brown's contract to Bradley Beal because I think he's a much better player. He's younger. He has room to grow. Bradley Beal got paid this money as a 28-year-old player.
Like he was dropping 30 though. That's true. So he's supposed to be a franchise player.
Jaylen Brown's on a winning team that's been to the conference finals like 3 or 4 times.
That's why 20 years old.
Made one playoff.
Yeah, like playoff push, but he had talent. So the context is kind of similar. Yeah. Like you're forced to pay as an organization, forced to pay these.
Maybe if Bradley Beal and Celtics doing this, it might not have looked as bad, but he wasn't. So
but like I mean, shoot, the reports when they're coming out of him saying that he's going to get traded, like he's a piece where he can elevate a team to be a championship level contender. because of the ability that he has to score.
His contract, though, the thing is his contract is going to severely restrict the team that he's on.
It is, but I mean, him being a second or a third level player is like puts you at the top, literally a contender because of it.
I mean, the Suns are a contender, obviously, because
Not without him, but any 30 NBA teams would be a number one contender with him.
like, no, if he says to the Spurs,
You know what I mean, though. Like if you put him at like shoot, if you put him on the Trailblazers, they
Put him
don't
on the playoffs. Put him on the Thunder.
they're not a contender, though.
They put him in contention, though. I mean,
For what? The playoffs, the contention.
playoffs, yeah, or second round. You can get past
That's a good team.
the second round, yeah.
I don't know, bro. They can't even get past the first round.
Well, they're putting one in now with
Mavs having the defense. We put him with like that offensive juggernaut.
They'll be talking about that offensive overload again. That's the problem. You're just banging on offensive.
I don't know, but I'll say this: like, put him teams that we think are contending right now and need his ability would put them over to top.
But don't get, you're talking about in theory, yes, in theory, but it's like you got to take his contract into account. It's like, yes, you're putting him on these teams, but they got to send back like 4 or 5 players because how big his contract.
I mean, shoot, we saw the trade deal that they gave to the Suns. If you put
Chris Paul's making a fuck ton of money also.
we get a bad player.
Miami. Talk about Miami. If he got sent to Miami, they're getting Lowry and like they'll be that.
Duncan Robinson fat ass contract, Kyle Lowry fat ass contract, and the picks like.
So I mean, you can find a team that has contracts like that too, that aren't worth it.
Who though?
Kyle Lowry and the particular.
You also have no trade about, so you can just be like, nah, I don't want to play with. So
you feel like, Miami would have taken that offer. It was Duncan, Kyle, and first round.
Yeah, I mean the $50 million a year, dude. It's like you got 4 max contract on the Phoenix Suns. It's kind of crazy. That's why I'm looking at trade Aiden. I want to trade Aiden for multiple role players.
If you can survive with the Steven Adams, Clint Capella, like Nick Claxton as your center, and then
Claxton's pretty good, but yeah.
Those guys
it's like they're not worth as much.
But it's not. Yeah,
not
like
worth as much.
Aiden makes a lot.
If
I'm
Because they
calling
think
you
that
was
he's
a
like-
max.
No, he's getting paid.
Oh, and yes, he's being paid.
Yeah.
If I'm Phoenix, I'm calling the Trailblazers. I'm like, give me Nurkic, give me some other guys.
Harden's getting paid as much as Beasley too. I mean, Nurkic's offensive. He's bad.
Yeah, it's paid, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
Give me Nurkic plus role players.
Yeah, exactly.
And then for 8, that's what
I
I.
wouldn't be bad. Like, I mean, he's not untouchable. They'll put him on the trade block.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
if
I'm
he's
sure
looking at
they're
trade,
still shopping. Yeah.
I mean, if they keep him, they keep him. If they don't, they don't.